Okay, we'll start the City Selma City Council Citizen Agency Joint Regular Meeting. Invocation by Pastor Francisco from.
Good evening, Mayor, Michael Tim, and council members. My name is Pastor Franco Atkinson, First Southern Baptist Church. And thank you for allowing me to lead in the invocation. So let us pray. Father God, we come before you today. Want to thank you for bringing us here for this beautiful day you've given us. And I pray, Father God, that your spirit will just come upon everybody's here as the decisions that are made, things that are going on in the city. And we ask your blessings upon every person and guide us through your spirit. And through it, we pray that Christ will be glorified. For it's in the name of Jesus that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, a roll call, Raina.
Council member and agency board members, Sir.
Here.
Franco.
Here.
Montijo.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem, Vice Chairman Robertson.
Here.
Mayor and Chair Avalos.
Aye. Okay, next item. Okay, potential conflict. Any city council has on the agency board member as potential conflict and identify and excuse himself and voting on the matter. Anybody here on this particular item?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, with respect to item 2 on the closed session agenda, the anticipated litigation, item 2,
right.
the initiation of litigation item, let the record reflect that Councilmember Montijo recused herself due to an interest in real property that was located near that item within 500 feet. She recused herself and left the room at 5:34, did not participate in any discussions, and returned at 5:45 for the balance of the closed session agenda.
Thank you. Note for the record. Okay. Now we're going to have a special presentation, swearing in ceremony. Our new city manager, Teresa Galvan. Teresa, can you step down here, Teresa? So people can see who you are.
And Mr. Mayor, if you might, have my husband Kim Van Decken join me.
Oh yes, and it's very important. Your better half. You know.
It's already up there.
Yeah, they're out.
Oh, good man. Good
Smart.
choice. You know, you're going to survive a long time.
My first time in the raft.
Teresa, if you would, please raise your right hand. And when I'm done, please say I do. Or you can say I do. Do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge your duties upon that of which you are about to enter?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Instead of having a special, we're going to have a special ceremony for Teresa. The Selma Chamber is going to do a host open house. We're going to have it here at City Hall on November 8th between 4 and 6, and the public's invited to come out to and meet our new city manager, Selma, and address some issues if you have concerns. She's a good listener, and so is her husband down there as well. But we invite the public to come out and meet her personally. And that way you know who's working for the city and get to know them. You know, that's very good. And next item we're going to move forward is we're going to have a special presentation for the Selma High School Future Farmers of America Agriculture Mechanic Team. And we have a special presentation. I'm going to let Scott Robinson.
Great.
You guys?
We have a slideshow of Mr. Calvert, Mr. Robbie Calvert. Would you guys like to come forward? This is the Selma High Future Farmers of America Ag Mechanics team. They just went to the Nationals. Mr. Calvert, can you tell us about the performance of your group at the Nationals this year?
Well, first off, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure and honor to be here and not only be in front of the city council, but also to represent the greater Selma community. Do you want me to wait until slideshow? Or?
So, if I may, Kip, you want to take a seat, we'll do the slideshow, and then we'll present the certificate?
Yeah, then
Okay.
you guys could come up here and we'll present the
Okay.
certificates. We have a couple of other representatives with certificates of distinction for you as well tonight.
Okay, perfect. So this was the 2018 Ag Mechanics team. Started off with the California Ag Mechanics contest, our FFA agriculture model at the Selma High School and the Greater State of California National FFA organization. It's based around 3 circles of the ag education model: classroom, FFA, which is the largest student-ran organization in the country, and then SAE, which stands for Supervised Agriculture Experience. Within the FFA, we have LDEs, Leadership Development Events, as well as CDEs, Career Development Events. Ag Mechanics is one of the CDEs that competes at both the state and national level. So in order to be able to compete at the national level, you have to actually win the state competition, which is held in May at Cal Poly San Luis. And so this is an example of the 3 circles of our ag education model. So our ag mechanics contest, our team had Boyd Franson, who was a graduate 2018. So he was a senior when he competed at the state level, and then now competed as a graduate in the national event. Francisco Macias was a junior, currently a senior. Dale Franson was a sophomore, currently a junior, and then Jesus Hernandez was a sophomore, currently a junior. One of the special things is this was probably one of the youngest ag mechanics team to win a state championship in most of our fellow coaches' memory. So it was something very special for us. You see the competitions that we competed in. We competed all over the state of California in the spring semester. Competed all the way from Modesto College in the north down to our Cal Poly San Luis in the south. We were able to win all but one contest, getting second. The big thing was California. The Ag Mechanics contest is so popular and so competitive, you actually have to qualify. So we went into Cal Poly ranked #1, almost like you would have the college football rankings, Fresno State type deal. And so being able to get ranked #1 and then to win the state finals, first high team, and then Boyd Franson was the first high individual, 2nd year in a row that he was first high individual. His brother Dale was 3rd, and then Jesus Hernandez was 10th, which is pretty special because that was being his first contest, or first state finals contest. So we have some pictures of them winning their state championship. They won the bowl there that Francisco is holding. One of the cool things is we worked with Caterpillar here in Selma, and something to kind of help them was they got some stress dosers, and so that was something they got to take into the contest with them. So that was a cool little memory for them. When it came time for the National Ag Mechanics Contest, it's a little bit different. In California, it's such a big state, such a big FFA program that we actually separate the national contest into 3 different contests. With us winning the Ag Mechanics, we then had to be able to combine the skills at all 3 different contests we have in California to compete in one at the national level. So they had a written test, which had basic knowledge of all of the areas, all the way from having to learn the National Electric Code to being able to read manuals on various equipment. There was a team event. They had to, all 4 of them work together to construct a masonry block wall. They then had to have a write-up in which they did a summary, bill of materials, and a couple other informational items for that masonry. This was a 2-day event, so the first day they do the written test and team event. The second day they come back and do the last 5 electricity, arc welding, which they did a flex core, which is kind of like similar to MIG welding. And then they worked on Kubota tractors, which we actually went to the local Kubota dealership in Hanford, and they did a great job on helping the students prepare. They gave an entire day of one of their mechanics to be able to actually go out and help train them. They did a surveying portion and then a compact equipment, Briggs and Stratton engines. So we competed, and then We had our award ceremony on the Friday. We were able to get second high team out of about 45 teams representing all the different states in the nation. So that was pretty big, pretty high honor to be able to be at least second in the nation. Boyd Franson was a first high individual, was also first high in the subcategory of electricity, and then he gets a $1,000 scholarship from Firestone. His brother Dale beat him in welding, but was second high individual, and he also gets a $900 scholarship from Firestone. Jesus Hernandez got the gold award, and Francisco won a silver award. So we have some pictures we were in Indianapolis for almost a week. The few days that we had before the contest, it wasn't just fun and games. This is the boys, the picture on the left, the boys were actually practicing in the hotel room and in the hotel lobby area, going over different tests, preparing. On the picture on the right, that is the boys that were getting ready for the contest right before they go in and compete. So one of the cool things, we were able to get them all matching jackets. So right before the big event. Picture on the left was the team event with them building their masonry block wall. While we were there, we were able to actually see Garth Brooks live. We got to see them at a concert, and then of course take a picture in front of a John Deere tractor. Never pass up that opportunity. I think and then this was the picture in the awards. The picture on the left was after we just got second place, and then the picture on the right was after Boyd and Dale were able to go across stage and receive recognition for their first and second high individuals. And that's it.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Very impressive.
All right.
Yeah.
If you guys would come forward. And then we have representatives from Congressman Valadeo's office tonight. A representative from Congressman Valadeo's office would like to present you with a certificate of appreciation as well. Did you want to go first, Eileen?
Yeah, I have to apologize. I definitely did the certificates for the team names of last year, but luckily 3 out of the 4 are the same, so that really worked out in my favor. But on behalf of Congressman Valadeo, we want to congratulate you. If you are familiar with the congressman, he always has had a huge emphasis in not only agriculture, but in education. And for you guys to be a combination of both and to represent us in the nation is just incredible. So congratulations. I'm going to do the certificates, but I can't do both at once, so. All right, so I'm gonna Boyd, congratulations. Again, I think it's right. Okay, and then Francisco. Oop. Congratulations. And then we only have one round one. I promise I'll get you the next one. It's easy. And then Dale, congratulations. There you go. And then I'll give you the wrong one for now, and then we'll get this which one right. So congratulations. There you go. And then congratulations to you as well.
Great. Thanks, Eileen. And then on behalf of the city, we recognize you for your hard work and efforts. The community is proud of you and your accomplishments. I think we can change the Garth Brooks song. He no longer knows people in low places. Now I know people in high places. You guys, you're doing a great job for our community. And this is the leader of these are the leaders of our community. Our community is so importantly based on ag. Agriculture is integral to our community, and you're doing a great job pioneering our ag mechanics team and moving us forward into the future in this most important of industries. So thank you very much for your service. And keep going. Boyd, where are you going next year? Are you off to, good for you. Congratulations. Good job. You guys keep up the good work. We'll start out the certificate with Mr. Calvert. You're welcome. Dale. Jesus. Francisco. There you go. Congratulations. If we could get a picture with everybody in the council.
Hang on, Scott. Scott.
Yeah, could Dr. Fisher and the principal of Selma High come forward, please, and take a picture with us?
Good job.
Good job. You guys are MacGyvers. I love it.
Nice work. Good work. Good looking. Nice work.
And to the parents of these young men in the audience, congratulations to you as well, because it's definitely a family-supported endeavor.
Very good. Teresa, you want a few words to say to these young people? I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very impressive, great work. Continue to keep up the good work. Selma is very proud of what you do, and you make our community shine. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to the next item here. Our next item is recognition for the police department volunteers. Chief Gardner.
Mayor, members of the council, thank you. Volunteerism is at the heart of every prosperous community, and volunteerism in Selma is what keeps us going. And tonight, I want to express my gratitude for all of you allowing us to honor some of the folks who have been volunteering their service to your community for a number of years now. Tonight, we're going to be honoring our police explorers and our volunteers in policing. First, I'm going to call up Sergeant Terry Reed, who's in charge of our police explorers, to give you a brief overview of the program and introduce his explorers.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Just a little bit about the exploring program, the law enforcement exploring program at Selma Police Department. In line with Chief's Grow Your Own, we want to present our explorers that we have today with us. The program is set for young men and women between the ages of 14 and a half to age 20 who have expressed an interest in law enforcement exploring. And this prepares them as a career development type program for them. And so I'm very proud of the young men and women that are doing this. They've donated several community hours to our community already, and already preparing for their future in law enforcement. With that, I'll go ahead and introduce our explorers. First off, we have Angelica Jara, sorry. Angelica. Gloria Jara.
Right.
Jesus Torres. Jesus is one of our new explorers that just joined this week. Jose Vargas, also one of our new explorers. Austin Gutierrez. Michelle Licadio. Anabela Estrada. Jennifer Martinez. And our Captain Dulce Garcia Vizar. This is our some of our explorers. We have some that weren't able to make it tonight.
Mayor, members of the council, you're looking at the future of the Selma Police Department. Many of our explorers throughout the years have gone on to careers in law enforcement, and that's what we hope these young men and women endeavor to do as they grow older and spend time with our department. So take a good look at their faces. Hopefully in the near future you'll be seeing them here at a swearing-in ceremony at some time. So thank you so much for all of you for coming out and for all of your service. We're going to transition to our volunteers in policing program. In a moment I'm going to bring up Sergeant Frank Santillan, who's in charge of that program. Our VIPs, as they are known, are invaluable to our department. Especially in the lean years when our staffing levels were lower, they stepped in and filled the need that we had. In fact, in this year alone, in this calendar year, they've already provided over 4,200 hours of volunteerism. That's on average of 14 hours a day, every day since the beginning of January. If you equate that to dollars and cents, if we had to fill those jobs with paid employees, they've saved the city of Selma nearly $170,000 with their efforts. So I'm going to bring up Sergeant Frank Santillan, who's going to tell you a little bit about the program and also our current VIPs.
Thank you very much. A little bit about the Volunteers in Policing program. It started in 1996 with just a handful of volunteers in the original purpose of the volunteer program was to provide a uniform presence in the downtown area. And it was geared more towards senior citizens who wanted to get involved with the community. And from there, it's blossomed to what we have now. We have people of all ages, stripes, and colors from all over the community that just want to give back to the community. We start out with a handful. We've been as high as 30 volunteers. Currently, we have a roster of 22 volunteers on the unit. They assist police officers by doing patrols throughout the community, as well as assisting with the many community events around Selma, Raisin Festival, the Sikh Festival, the July 3rd celebration, you name it. If there's a big event in the city of Selma, our VIPs are going to be out there helping out with traffic control, pedestrian control, etc. They're also subject to call out in the middle of the night for major incidences involving traffic collisions, anything that's a major situation, PG&E outage, whatever it is. We'll pick up the phone, call our volunteers, and they'll help us out with traffic control, whatever that need may be, we call them out. Each volunteer donates a minimum of 16 hours per month. Many do well over and beyond that amount. An example, VIP Dory Moya. Everybody knows Dory. We love her to death. Dory is the VIP rock. She's the one that keeps us going. She volunteers an average of 50 hours a week, I kid you not. And that's free time. And she's out there. So whenever you see Dory out there, please thank her. She does a lot for the program. They provide uniform presence throughout the city, especially during school. When school lets in the morning and the evening, we put them out there in a patrol unit to try to help us keep the kids going to and from school. Many of our volunteers have become police officers, not only with our department. We have a handful of officers that started out as explorers, went to VIPs, and now they're police officers. Other VIPs have gone on to become detectives for the Fresno County Sheriff's Homicide Unit. We have one VIP that's currently at California Highway Patrol. So we take great pride in our program and developing these folks that want to get into law enforcement, and this is the perfect vehicle and the avenue for them to reach that goal. So we're very proud of our volunteer program, and I think our citizens should be very happy that we've got a great core of people that are out there. Thank you. Yes. I want to introduce Johnny Rodriguez, Diego Perez, our one and only Dory Moya, Christopher Cano, Diego Salazar, Jared Zapata, and Matthew Sandoval. Unfortunately, the rest of our crew couldn't make it for other commitments. A lot of people work, and since they're volunteers, we're happy that these folks even showed up, so we appreciate that very much. Thank you, VIPs.
Our department received certificates of recognition and appreciation from Congressman Valdeo's office, State Assembly Member Andy Vidak, State Representative Joaquin Arambula. I'm just going to read one from Dr. Arambula's office. For the interest of time, we won't read them all, but in recognition of being honored by the City of Selma for your contributions and hard work as a volunteer in policing and a police explorer with the Selma Police Department, thank you for your dedication and commitment towards ensuring public safety. Honorable Dr. Joaquin Arambula. We also have a representative here tonight of United States Senator Kamala Harris and Dianne Feinstein's office, who has a presentation they'd like to make.
Well, good evening. Excuse me. It's a privilege to be here this evening. My name is Matt Rogers. I serve as the Central Valley District Director for our U.S. Senator Kamala Harris, and I'm kind of wearing two hats tonight. I'm also presenting on behalf of our other United States Senator, Dianne Feinstein. Just want you to know, all of those in the volunteer and police volunteers, how much both of our senators appreciate your work. And I'm not going to read one off for everybody like I'm going to do what the chief did, but on behalf of Senator Feinstein, thank you for your hard work and dedication. I commend all of your efforts to enrich the lives of others. This is an honor well deserved, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Sincerely yours, Dianne Feinstein, United States Senator. And then from our office, from the Senator Harris, it is a certificate of recognition from the U.S. Senate presented to, it'll have your name, in honor of your service to the community of Selma with the Selma Police Department. Kamala D. Harris, U.S. Senator from California. So on behalf of both senators and our staff here in California and in D.C., we thank each and every one of you for all that you've done for our community. Thank you.
We're gonna get all those certificates to everyone. There's a whole stack. We'd spend the next 45 minutes to distribute them, so we're gonna do that at a different time. I did want to thank you all again, Mr. Mayor, Council, for allowing us to honor these folks today. As I mentioned earlier, volunteerism is the backbone of a healthy community, and our community is healthy. You see that in the eyes of all the faces of all the people that are here. Without them, I wouldn't be able to report later on in the meeting, which I'm going to, about our falling crime rate and our continued success in lowering that crime rate. So you're seeing the reason. These are the eyes and ears of the Selma Police Department. So on behalf of that department, I'd like to thank all of you for your contributions and thank the council again for allowing us to honor them tonight. Thank you.
And hang on, guys, don't run away. We're gonna get a photo op.
Maybe forward, if you guys can step forward, and then the ones, the taller ones in the front, and make sure the taller ones in the front.
You can be in the front more, Gloria. You can be in the front.
No. Right here, right in the front, because you're special. And if, maybe the pretty
Stand
ones
up,
coming up
Scott.
in front as well,
Get us in here.
that way we all fit in the picture. Sergeant? Sergeant, do you want me to take it, Laura? Yeah, I know, I'm focusing. Oh. Laura, do you want me to do it? No. You got it? One, two, three.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys, and your volunteers for keeping the city of Selma safe. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to the next item, oral communication. At this time, any member of the public can address the city council and the agency board regarding any over the city council board jurisdiction. No action will be discussed or taken on any item not on the agenda. The items are referred to the city manager for review. Public has a limit of 3 minutes.
Hello.
State your name.
Rose Robertson, 1057 Mill Street. I'm here to say personally, and the citizens of Selma and the whole San Joaquin Valley from Stockton all the way to LA, but definitely want to thank our sponsors for the Tejano 6th Annual Tejano Country Concert. Sponsors were Waste Management, Donna G. Cal Water, Robertson Guerra Insurance, Big Valley Mortgage, Java Hut, Les Schwab's, Al's Electric, Matco, and Bob Allen. The reason why I'm personally saying thank you to them is because if it wasn't for our sponsorships, we would not be able to have our Tejano Country Concert. Being the 6th annual, we had over 800 people walk through that gate. After our expenses that were $7,012.90, Second Chance Animal Shelter and the Police Officers Association both went home with $10,785. And very thankful for that, for both. I know the Selma police officers have been distributing a lot of their proceeds already to a lot of the other nonprofit organizations here in the community. And I know Second Chance just received a really huge bill from State Fund today. So again, thank you to everybody who participates with the Tejano Country Concert. Next year, it will be October 19, 2019. I want to also thank the Unified School District for their lights. They do donate the lights. We had a lot of people help with serving the beer, and a lot of them are here today. Thank you to so many. I'd be here a whole hour thanking everybody, but if it wasn't for everybody who helps, whether it's sponsorship, volunteering, and their new ideas, this wouldn't be successful. So again, thank you very much for everybody participating, and we only could hope that it continues to grow because it has been very vocal. I get calls all the time about it throughout the year, and it's something the citizens of Selma do appreciate and really enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rose. Thank you. Okay, anybody else can come forward and address the city council. State your name and address, please.
My name is Robert Cortez, 1751 South McCall. I'd like to bring up a safety issue that I brought up before, but maybe it's been lost in the shuffle, so I'd like to address this to the city manager. This is something that happened that I talked about in March, but I'm bringing it up now again because it's probably been lost in the shuffle. So I'll bring it up again, and this happened in January. There was a gentleman crossing the street on the corner of Floral and Highland. Apparently he was killed by a vehicle there. So I'm trying to see whether they could put a sign on the Floral side near Rallies there, maybe stating beware of pedestrian turning right onto Highland Avenue off of Floral. That's a very, very busy corner. I think it's the busiest corner in town, but there could be other ones that could give it a test run there. But what I'm trying to do is save a life. See, people forget about these things. And how long do we wait again before somebody else is killed there? Maybe by a negligence. When you have a person versus a vehicle, the vehicle's gonna win. And all I'm trying to do is save a life there in the future, and it could be even mine, who knows? But sometimes these people, they turn around there and you can't just pass the sidewalk because the cars are turning and turning and turning, and they won't let you pass. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but it is a very busy area there. And sooner or later, either by neglect or something else, somebody's gonna get hit there again in the future. And then how many people do we wait until we put a sign up there trying to get the motorist to think about when he's turning on that right-hand side toward maybe Home Depot or Me and Ed's Pizzas or further down. See, this is what I'm trying to bring out here. And it's been lost in the shovel, so since you're the new city manager, I thought I'd bring that up again. Okay, so I'd also like to congratulate you on your new appointment. And a little to the public, Selma, this parish of Selma is gonna have a turkey, a lunch and dinner at St. Joseph's Church. It's gonna be free on the 15th of November from 12 to 6 p.m. Come one, come all. It's not just for the street people, it's for everyone who needs to come and have something to eat. So you're all invited. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Anybody else come forward and address the city council? If not, we'll move forward. Okay, next item, the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are routine. And all complete consent calendar will be exact by one motion, by one roll call vote. All purpose of discussion of any city council can remove any consent calendar made a part of the regular agenda. And the remaining, the city council remain the remaining approval. Okay, anything want to be pulled off? Any city council want to pull anything off?
I'd like to pull items E, F, H, and M off.
E, F, and M?
H and M?
H and M, H and M, okay.
I just have M. Just M.
Just M, okay. All right, and the remaining?
I can make a motion that we accept items number 1, or A, G, I, J, K, and L. Did I miss any?
B, C, D.
Oh, A, B, and C, and
A,
D.
B, C,
Thank
yeah.
you.
A, B, C, D.
A, B, I'm sorry. 1, A, B, C, and D.
Okay.
Make a motion
I'll
to
second
accept.
Okay, a second, okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Durr.
Aye.
Councilmember Franco.
Aye.
Councilmember Montijo.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Robertson.
Aye.
Mayor Avalos.
Aye, okay. Item
Okay, E, this is the City of Selma master salary schedule. And my question on this one, page 19, your packet. Which of these are filled and which are not filled? I'm looking under the department heads. We have one title of Community Development Director, one Community Services Director. I know a lot of people wear a lot of different hats in Selma. Is there anybody performing those jobs right now? Are those currently open? Will the city be Okay, it's Community Services Director. Okay, but the Community Development Director, that's currently an open position. Is the city gonna be going out and looking for the positions that are not filled? Or I'm just trying to get a sense of
What do you mean,
why we're
vacated?
seeing this now.
So right now, we're assessing the needs in departments and where there are some gaps that we need to fill. I think some of the things that we talked about during the interview process is that
Organization chart.
the organization chart and the planning and development areas needing to strengthen those. So we're still assessing that. We've had some internal discussions on that, and we'll keep you updated.
I think
But-
the city was looking for a planner, a full-time planner. Is that moving forward right now, or is that still being subcontracted out?
Right now, we're subcontracting. We are looking at specifically the needs and planning, and have several meetings coming up to
'Cause that's-
really assess that.
That's a big one, isn't it? I
It
mean,
is.
that's the face that a lot of developers and contractors see when they come to City Hall.
And
after
right,
the
and our
city manager and
contract,
assistant city manager.
our contract planner is here 2 days a week, so I mean, we really need to take a look at what we need to do to bolster that
And
division.
it seems like they changed too. I think we started out with someone named Richard, then it went to someone else, and I don't know if we're on a
There's another guy.
third. It's another, so it just seems like it changes around a lot. It'd be nice to have some stability in that position too. Okay, thank you for that. Item F. So if you go over to item F, that's page 25. That is the amendment of the CDBG agreement for the Ringo Park restrooms. So just an update on that, Mike. Are we moving forward on that? Is that, does this go out to bid here pretty soon?
It is going out to bid soon. It's just finalizing the agreements and things of that nature that we need.
The reason I asked is it's 2016, 17, so
Yeah,
it's
this
been
is
in
one
the
we
works
have
for a
to
while.
take out to rebid again and things of that nature. And I think one of your other agenda items is to
We had this
finalize that
earlier,
portion.
right,
So
where there
you're
was
finalizing the
one bidder.
agreements, and then you're issuing the award and bid to in another document.
This is part of the process to get that bid, to get it going,
Yeah,
as opposed to when we had the one bid and it was too high. Okay.
Correct.
And then, thank you for that. And then item H, which is
Page 37.
page 37, you hit the nail on the head, Mr. Mayor. That is a consideration of the the Community Development Block Grant Agreement for 18-19. So this is really important. It looks like we're making some headway on getting these storm drain connections from the actual storm drains to the recharge basins as opposed to being dumped in the canals. It looks like 2 here. My question is, how many more do we still need to do?
I don't have the actual acreage, it's just the line. I do know that this will take a big chunk out of what has to be calculated out for the CID
These are
payments
two
and things
main
of that
ones
nature.
in the Valley View
It
area.
is a good portion, yes, and try to reposition it back into that new basin that we now currently
It's
have.
going to go to that recharge basin that was also bought with block grant money behind
That's
the
correct.
Boys and Girls Club south of that.
That's
Okay.
correct.
And the other ones are in the east part of the city?
I believe they are in the older part of the city. I'd have to look into that, though. I can confirm that later, or tomorrow for you.
Do we have a timeline on when we think that this will finally be wrapped up?
No, it's due to funding sources, so we're kind of taking chunks at it as we can as we move along and go forward with different grant opportunities, and we continue to look at the radar for that.
And we're under a little lesser time constraints with the consolidated irrigation districts. I know this was one point that needed to be fulfilled as part of the city's agreement.
That is correct. My conversations that I had with Consolidated Irrigation District said that as long as you're moving forward with some kind of direction, they're fine with where we're currently at.
Do you meet with them periodically and give them an update on where we are on the conveyances?
We do talk to them in
Water
different
from
different increments regarding different matters, so we try and keep them as day as we can. Correct.
Aren't we paying for usage of the canals?
That's correct.
Okay, where we're dumping, those points at which we're dumping it in?
Correct. And then this project itself will help alleviate some of that liability.
Save some money on that too.
That's correct.
Get it out of the canals and we'll save money.
We won't be dumping into them.
Thank you for
Correct.
that. And then item M, which is the check register, which I believe Councilperson Montiel wanted taken off the
Page?
consent agenda as well.
57.
Page 57, 50,
Thank you.
57.
Yeah, 57.
Did you want to go first?
Go right
Okay. So if you look at page 58, halfway down, item 71616, Napa Auto Parts of Selma Auto Parts Transit. It's a relatively small amount, 1858, but usually I see this on the Cal card. Why is this on the check register for this month?
This transaction actually is part of their new maintenance facility program that we have.
Oh.
It's actually getting billed back to the Transit Authority.
Okay, so this will actually, so you could have even put like an R.
Yeah, it should have
next
had
to
an R.
this
That's
for
correct.
reimbursement. That's just, I usually see it under the Cal card charge. Okay, and then the next page, page 59, the third from the top, 71638, United States Treasury. What's a vendor levy? I just have never seen that before.
You know what? I have to look into that
Okay.
one. That one I'm not sure of.
Okay, down 3/4 of the way down, 71675, JLB Traffic Engineering. Is this a continuation?
It's
of
the same
Tacoma
thing. It's still
project?
going. Mm-hmm.
Is it just because it keeps going?
It just keeps going. The numbers that
study?
they have to produce and things of that nature, you wait for different seasons, stuff like that to gather all the data. And it just takes a long time for them to kind of crunch the numbers and produce
What's the
that report.
timeline on this? When will it finally conclude?
The last time I talked to them was probably a couple months still out. So that was probably like last month when I talked to
Do
them.
they
last.
come back with results like right away, or
Yeah, they have an
just do
official
it and then
report
come
that they got
back?
to produce. Yeah,
But they do it at the end of the study.
that's correct.
Okay, and that'll be published with the city's knowledge, and the developer will also
Yeah, we
see
got to
that?
approve the report. So yes,
Okay. Are we paying for this, or is the developer paying?
it's
for
being
this?
reimbursed by developer. So that should have been an R as well.
Another R. Okay. All right. Thank you.
That
Okay.
was one of my questions, but if we'll turn back to page 58. Are you done? I'm sorry. I
I'm
didn't
done.
ask. Let's see. 71603, Jay's Communication, new Motorola radios. Which department is that? Is that our police department?
Yes, that would be.
And how many radios does that cover?
I'm sorry. Which number was it again?
71603.
I can tell from the email. That actually looks like a couple. Usually they're about $5,000 for one individual. So that's actually a couple of radios.
Alrighty, and then if we move down to the, about 3/4 of the page for 31,000 to RPM Design, what exactly does that cover, Isaac, the 31,000?
They're doing the full architectural design of the and engineering
Is this like
design.
a monthly payment, or we?
No, they're billed basically at a percentage level when they complete a portion of it.
And
For
then we get
example,
billed.
the construction documents would be a portion, so as they go through those increments, they bill you throughout the project.
And then on the next page, halfway down, we have a Police Academy Cadet monthly stipend for $500, check number 71654. How long do we anticipate giving stipends, or when will he be done? Chief, you might know that. Perfect, all right. That's all I had. Thank you.
With that, I make a motion to approve items E, F, H, and M.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Robertson.
Aye.
Councilmember Montijo.
Aye.
Councilmember Durr.
Aye.
Councilmember Franco.
Aye.
Mayor Avalos.
Aye. Okay. Okay, oh, public hearing. There is no, okay, we'll go to the, department reports.
We got item 2.
No regular business.
Oh, regular, I'm sorry. I'm ahead of myself here.
No, you're okay.
I got ahead of myself. Sorry. Okay. So this is one page here. Oh, okay. Okay, this is yeah, just, yeah.
Oh,
You can just read
item
that
number
discussion.
2,
Oh,
community
okay,
center.
discussion on potential community center.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Teresa Galvan, city manager. Just wanted to bring this item forward as there was a council request and we learned that the mosquito abatement district office and fleet yard may be up for sale or lease in the future, and wanted to bring this item forward for discussion about the potential of looking into it, possibly for a community center. So just wanted to share with you the property. We went and took a quick look at it, but before doing any further research, we thought it would be best to have discussion with council to see if there was some interest in that. The property is in a good central location. However, it is a small office and a fleet yard, so there are some things to be aware of whenever you're looking at kind of a renovation or potentially new construction in a fleet yard and things like that. But I think we just wanted to open this to discussion for you.
Okay, thank you for discussion, okay.
Is it currently for sale?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that
Maybe
question.
coming up for sale.
I understand it will be coming up for sale or lease, and I did not call them. I wanted to first find out if council was, where council stood with the option of looking at properties for a community center and just have a dialogue to see if we should look into it further by contacting them, doing a little research on the property, or looking to see if council wants us to look at other properties in the future, maybe through another get some feedback from the council as to, is that something that's a priority right now, or in the budget process, or in a capital improvement project process? Just kind of open it up.
Much of my comment would depend upon where we would pull funds for this. So that would have, if it's a community center and it gets pulled from parks and recreation, I think if we look back at our goal setting, our visioning, we'll see that the city's main priority, our citizens' main priority was, aside from public safety, was green space. And so while it is centrally located, and property like that is difficult to find that's centrally located, I think we have to listen to our citizens and keep green space at the forefront. And so that would be really important to me. And then secondly, regardless of funding source, the mosquito abatement's objective was to abate mosquitoes, and they do that through the use of chemicals. And so I'm wondering just how much mitigation would have to fall upon us in order to mitigate any spills or concerns of that nature there.
You're talking about contamination on the soil.
Right, it may
On
fall
the
back
property
on the
itself.
mosquito
Okay.
abatement district, I don't know. And how much would we have to go through in order to get that mitigated, if anything at all? I do have other concerns, but those are the ones that are at the fore for me.
So, we've heard a lot about community centers. The police station plans had a potential community room. The library has a community room, but they're small in scale. I think what makes this something to look at is maybe not in and of itself a target, but to get us thinking in that direction, because, if the council recalls when we had that visioning and when we had the people come out for what they wanted out of their park, a lot of people said they want a wrestling room. We have a great wrestling program here. And right now, the wrestlers have to rent out a room downtown, a pretty small space. You know, I've been called on many times to meet the community's needs and to respond to what the community has asked me, and that is to have a first-class wrestling area where the wrestling team can practice when they're not in season. Whether that is at the abatement center or whether it's at another location, I think it's valuable to keep our options open at the same time as we look at, you know, potential green space out at Rockwell. I don't think anybody's saying X or Y. I don't think this is a binary exercise. I think this is a both and. I think we look at both potentials here. And you've got this facility that's just been sitting there inert for a couple of years. We had one of our citizens here has been on the board and let me know a couple of years ago when the board voted to move the mosquito abatement district, which is a special district, voted to move their headquarters to Parlier. It became apparent that nothing was going to happen with this property. So in discussing it on a very superficial level with Steve Mulligan, the executive director, he had some of the same concerns that I think we all do, which is, you know, not just the environmental issue, but also the ADA, because it's an older building. So there would be American with Disabilities, plus, as our city manager mentioned, there are some issues with space right now. And I think at this stage, it's just kind of an idea that could maybe lead council in another direction, because now people are hearing this. Citizens are hearing this, and I'd like to hear from the citizens. I'd like to hear what people have to say. I've heard from a lot of citizens about the need for a wrestling space. I've heard from a lot of people about, why don't we have a pool? Why don't we have a community pool? Why do we have to go to the high school every year and rent their pool, you know, for 3 months? Why doesn't the city have a pool? So, you know, there's community needs of the people that we could be looking at and addressing with this. But of course, it would have to be in a fiscally prudent manner, because, you know, we are the stewards. We are the fiduciaries of the public money, so we have to do it reasonably. At the same time, we do need to listen to the people and what they want. So I would be in favor of at least taking a look at this and seeing, you know, having some discussions with their executive director on what they're planning on doing with it.
Yeah, and you're right, Scott. There's areas we can look at, and there's other areas too. I was looking at the other day. I was looking at the old gym, you know, over there by crossing the park.
Oh yeah.
The high school gym. Remember the old back? Yeah, we could use that for the wrestling facility there too, because that's got hardwood floors and everything. You know, there's other areas in our community we have to look at. You know, for the kids. You know, and also, you know, the cost. We want to make sure the cost is fair and reasonable, and the public is okay with it. You know, it falls on the public here. Public input is very important. You know, how they proceed as council up here, because we look at the needs of the people, not our needs, the people's needs. Okay, that's what it is in life. You know, but there's avenues in our community we have to look at. So we should look at all these avenues, Scott, and council. You know. Okay. Any more discussion?
Well, I just think there's a lot of unknown variables to say we should look at it or we shouldn't look at it. I think we should basically wait till those variables are answered, the cost, the condition of the soil and all that. And then with the facts, then we can make our decision. So I think we have to be open-minded to that point to see if it's something feasible we can do, but not say no or yes right now. Just say.
Oh no, we're just looking at things.
That would take looking at it.
Yeah, we're just looking at it. No harm in
it's
looking.
viable.
Don't cost nothing
Yeah.
to look at things in life. You know. Any more discussions?
Does that tell you what you want to know?
Okay.
That's it.
That gives us direction to take a look into it, and also maybe if there are any other sites that were suggested.
Yeah,
kind of see
other
if-
sites,
Okay, thank you.
we can look at these items, you know. Okay, now, next item. Oh, department reports. How that came about. Okay,
Yeah, that's the point.
did I miss a page? I didn't miss a